Let's complete the last bit of my journey. Oh, good morning, little hill. I'll see you at the top. I absolutely love this corner on my walking up to Lorian, so I really remember it vividly from last year. But you're going to have to forgive me because I'm really wheezy this morning. But you get this little clearing before you go up to the next bit. And it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I think it's heading 22, 23 degrees. It's going over 30 today. So for that very reason, it's nice to take, even though it's a very short walk, up. I'm looking into the sun there. I'm just going to leave it in, but it's just beautiful now. The minute I hit that blue car down there, L'Oreal will go into a bit of a mad meltdown because she doesn't know I'm on my way up. If she's in the sewing room, or if she's in the kitchen. Oh, there she is. She's around somewhere. I don't think they get many callers up here. There we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we are starting with our makes from the July Think Pink subscription box. Now, we have the beautiful geometric fabric, and I was given the green, and Lorian was given the purple, and we are making the butterfly dress by Atelier Brunette. It is a beautiful caftan style dress, and we thought it would be really nice to do something a little bit different, but one that we could do together to show you. So there's a bit of pattern Tetris going on, trying to get everything in. Now, I would love to take these home, but I think if I took these home, Lorian would know where they were. They're called wiggle weights, and they've got like beads in them, really heavy beads, and they're fantastic. They hold everything rock solid down. Right, Lorian is threading up another overlocker in the kitchen. This Vanina is threaded for me, and that overlocker is threaded for me. Lorian is using her second machine through here. I'm just going to follow up on something that I talked about in my last vlog, and that's careful cutting out. We are making this dress and we're using the fabric from Andrew's box. Now the pattern says we need 30 centimetres more fabric than we have, and I can understand where we need the 30 centimetres. It's in the cutting out lay, but with a little bit of pattern Tetris you can do it. So I've done the folds to the middle, but I've done it unevenly, and the only way it works is if you measure from here to here and here to here. Now I've then laid it over this pattern piece here, but I've made certain that this pattern piece here will fit on along here, and I have measured that down there. And by overlaying the fabric, you can actually get more onto your fabric than you think you can. When I get home, I promise I will do a better explanation. So here I am in Lorian's sewing room, and we are doing this dress by Atelier Brunette, which I think it would be true to say that both of us are slowly losing the will to live. But we needed to make binding. So we have made binding using strips. They're not on the bias to go around the skirt. But I needed, the dress needs binding to go around the neck and the armholes. Now I have made mine using the method whereby you have a square and you cut the square in half and flip it over, and then you draw on lines like this. Now this is a way to make bias binding that I was taught when I went on my Guthrie and Garney sewing retreat. And I always say, when I mention the Guthrie and Garney sewing retreat, it was the lovely retreat 5 years ago, about now, where I met Tamlin for the first time. And Tamlin was really sort of going off on that lovely sewing journey of hers. And we were both taught how to make this binding. So Tamlin, if you're watching me, just think about the binding demo from Layla. Anyway, so I am doing that, but I thought you might like to know that I obviously, YouTube don't like it if you show your screen. It can actually throw the video out, and maybe that's something I've got to work on. But the video, I've got it here next to me. I'm just going to show you around here. You can just see that I've got, can you see I've got my laptop just there? There's my DIY continuous bias binding super fast sewing tutorial, and it's by So She Can. So She Can. I'm going to put that down. I hope I hope this works, but you've got your square, you cut it down the diagonal bias and you flip it over so you get the triangle, 2 triangles like that, so you make the sort of long trapezium type shape. Forgive me if I've got the wrong shape. I'm still suffering. I'm going to claim jet lag on that one. So we are using a viscose rayon, and that is it's an incredibly slippery fabric to work with, and you know, when I learned to sew, it was all cotton and polyester cotton or polycotton poplin, really lovely stable fabrics. So you know, those of you that have learned to sew in the last few years and are getting your grips with viscose, well done you guys, keep it up. So I'm going to mark on some 1.5 inch, and I'm going to have a little giggle to myself here because where else do you go from imperial to metric in a split second? So I've got a quilting ruler here in Lorianne's sewing room. I'm in Lorianne's sewing room, by the way, and we've got this lovely super marked quilting ruler. I've got the 1.5 inch mark. I've laid my fabric down a line on her cutting board, laying on my ruler, so you can see how accurately marked they are. The edge of the fabric is on a line. You can see the line there. Now to get that, we've got to now mark it. So I'm going to put the camera on here and I'm tip it down a bit so you can see what I'm doing. And terribly sorry if you get my hands in here. You can look at my lovely nails. Mark on a line, really gently. I'm using a Clover chalk pen today, but it's the same principle as the lovely Prim one that I was using at home last week. And hopefully going to be lots of sewing here. It was quilting last year, it seems to be dressmaking this year. Let me just move the ruler over. Be really careful not to move the fabric because that's not what you want to achieve. The fabric needs to stay put. I think a friction pen would be better, because sometimes these chalk pencils, they roll one way and then they won't roll see, it won't roll now. I've got to turn it round to make it roll, but I do like these Clover ones. Lay this one down again, just carefully line it up. Now, because I know by looking there's not 1.5 inches here, I'm going to take the rotary cutter, and I know I've got it the wrong way round, so please nobody tell me I've got my rotary cutter unsafe. I know I'm not using it safely, and I've just had the most beautiful snack brought in to me from the hostess with the mostess. Look at that. Oh, we need to come down. Hold on. Ta-da! Look at that.
Yogurt and strawberries.
Flowers and strawberry flowers. So the trickiest bit is you have to, when you sew it back together, you draw these lines on and you mismatch it so you've got them at a funny angle here. Now, the idea then is that you cut it with a pair of scissors, and scissors it will be for me. I'm not going for a rotary cutter. But you cut it and it goes round in a circle. And I know this is a very, very, very poor demonstration, but if you're desperate for a bias binding, you can always make your square of fabrics up using bits that you've got, as long as it makes a square. And there you go. One piece of binding. And that is enough. And then I've got another one here. I'll just do the other one for you. We're ready to go. And off it goes. And this is the green binding to go with the purple binding. So, we are at the end of day 3. Where is it? Monday we don't count. Monday we count? Right.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Tuesday is just Thursday. And this, we are putting up today the first vlog where we tried to make the dresses. Now, the dresses have not gone according to plan.
That's an
It's an
understatement.
understatement of the work. We have had 2 lovely days out, and there's more vlogs coming up. In fact, Wednesday's vlog is going to run into today's vlog because we spent 2 days shopping, basically, and we had a ball. And I'm not going to spoil that, other than the best bit. Should we tell them what the best bit was today?
Yes.
The best bit was we went to Mill End stores and I had a shopping list from Mrs. Stitched Up. Mr. Stitched Up was there in the background and I could hear him going. Could you hear him?
No,
You couldn't hear him.
You were in...
And he was going, no, no. So when we got all her fabrics, we then decided to ring Rachel and prop her up on the desk while the lady cut her fabrics. And seriously, that was just the simplest bit of fun ever, wasn't it? It was just so much fun.
Yeah.
So Rachel, thank you so much for being the best sport today. You really were a brilliant sport on that one. But back to the problem. So the dress is beautiful, but the instructions are not 100% clear. So the pattern we've been working on is the Atelier Brunette robe, butterfly robe. I'll put the link down below. Now, it's not an easy pattern, and there is always going to be a discrepancy in instructions from French to English, and every single company has their own way of writing instructions, and they have their own ways in communicating what they want to tell us. So I have tonight sent them a really polite email saying that there's one little area in their pattern instructions that is particularly complicated, but it shouldn't be that complicated. They just need to rewrite it. They need to remove a piece and rewrite the instructions. I can see what they've done. I can see why they've done it, but they actually haven't made it easy for anybody. They're also, I've had to sort of say to them that there wasn't enough fabric allowed. So when we got our box fabrics, it said 2.5 meters needed. So we thought, great, this is a 2.5 meter pattern, but it didn't allow for binding and it didn't allow for shrinkage. And boy, I got shrinkage. You haven't washed yours yet. This shrank by 12 centimeters. I'm all bound. I've made my binding using the funky way, and I've got mine together. I had one little area where it didn't quite work, and look, I put a label on. And I used the label to cover something. Oh, look, that's a good idea, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Look, there we go.
We need to put it down or we're going to get taller. It's drafted for 5'5".
Yeah, it's
there you go.
Oh, there you go. So it's quite Empire line. So I need to, I think when I go home, I want to sort of play around. So you can see we've got a waistband to go on it yet as well. Oh, there we go. It is a very flattering caftan style dress, and I'd envisaged us gliding around the lake, round the pool at Crater Lake in caftans. But we've got other things that we want to make and other things that we want to do, and we can't do them if we're stuck on this dress. So I think what I'm trying to say is there comes a point where you have to say, stop for now, take a breather and come back feeling better. What do you think?
I think we should thank Andrea for the lovely fabric.
I think yes. But
And
do you like it,
the
Andrea?
other pink
What do you
one.
think? We're not finished, but this is what we were trying. We will get them finished, but not today.
Nope.
Not today, but we
are
do
done
love the
here.
fabric, and I think it definitely, I think the colours are right on us. What do you think? Although after yesterday, I think Becky Jo would not be very happy. She'd want me in salmon pink. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye from me and goodbye from
Lorianne. Good night, everybody.
No, it's goodbye from me and goodbye from him. 2 Ronnies.
2 Ronnies?
Yeah, I'll explain.
Okay. It's a British thing.
It's a British thing. See you later. Bye.